King Egbert, grandfather of England. King Egbert, known in the world for the popular TV series Vikings, was one of the greatest Anglo-Saxon kings in Britain. Regarding him and many monarchs of the early Middle Ages, in principle, we know very little about the first stage of this man's life. It is assumed that he was born between 769 and 771, came from the ruling house of Wessex, and when the last ruler died in 786, the era of the interregnum begins, in which Egbert actively joined, but in the end was defeated by the Mercian puppet Beorhtric.
Thus, Egbert was forced to leave Wessex and go into exile.
It is said that he found shelter at the court of Charlemagne himself, with whom he became friends, and who helped in the elevation of Egbert after the death of Beorhtric in 802. So Egbert ascends to the throne of Wessex and begins an active expansion. By 820, he had conquered Cornwall, then known as the Kingdom of Dumnonia. Egbert's main rival in the struggle for hegemony among the Anglo-Saxons was the Virgin, once the strongest state of the Anglo-Saxons and all the British Isles. And of course, no one cancelled revenge, so the victory over this kingdom in 825 brought Egbert not only new lands, but also prestige among the other members of the Heptarchy. However, make no mistake, Egbert did not conquer Persia, but only took part of the lands and achieved nominal subordination of the Mercian king to Wessex. He transferred the seized lands to his son's management and continued expansion. By 830, most of the Anglo-Saxon kings recognized his supremacy. However, it should be understood that, although Viking raids into Britain had already begun, a full-scale invasion was just ahead. Nevertheless, Egbert turned out to be an extremely worthy ruler. This is also reflected in his legacy. He prepared his son Ethelwulf for the reign from the very beginning. For this, he took him on all his campaigns and stimulated his managerial skills, sending him to rule the occupied lands. In addition, Egbert managed to ensure a safe succession, and when Egbert dies in 839, Ethelwulf becomes king, and none of his vassals even uttered a peep. And this is a very great achievement. In an era when inheritance threatened to destroy your state, remember at least Clovis and Charlemagne. Thus Egbert prepared the way for the reign of his great-grandson and the unification of England under the banner of Wessex. In addition, Egbert created a solid structure that allowed his small country to survive in the era of the invasion of the Northerners others could not.